Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the NFL's active leader in passing yards, Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints take on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I love was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 17 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trying to get his legs back for this game. All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On second down, Elliott. And that play going absolutely nuts before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play, and 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the 2nd round back in 2001. And that's the veteran Drew Brees.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 34. To throw is Brees. Caught by the tight end Watson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Orleans.
And we'll see the second half of their dynamic duo in the backfield, and that's Alvin Kamara, who in 2017, the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. How about this? Over 1,500 total yards and 13 total touchdowns in a debut performance. Expect more of the same.
To throw, it's Brees. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Coming off a career-high 14.5 sacks in 2017, which tied for second in the NFL is DeMarcus Lawrence. How did he get to be so good in 2017? Consistency. Finally able to play pretty much a full season to show off a nice array of pass-rushing moves. He knows how to get to the quarterback.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off their last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
They keep on the ground with Elliott, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Second down, Prescott. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. At the 49-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Ready, yellow lady.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he
elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
You waiting?
From midfield, here's Breeze. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
A first down carry by Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Ready? You waiting?
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama, and they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Get ready. Yellow waiting.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Ready.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Kamara's got the 1st down and then some. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints, if they convert the extra point, they'll have the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Lutz with the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. You look at the numbers on the year, up over 1,100 yards now, and the last drive had a touchdown as well. Everybody offensively just seems to be in cohesion, don't they?
They do, and when you look at this rushing total, and you know at the end of the year, that means gifts for the big guys up front. Offensive line, tight ends, they're going to get a nice little bonus from their big-time runner.
When did that become a thing, by the way, that the quarterback or running back gets gifts for the offensive line?
I don't know. I can't go back and pinpoint it, but it's a great tradition, and it rewards those guys because they don't really get the attention that they deserve. We rarely call their names. It's a nice way for them to end their season. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go.
Again to Elliott. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go.
The give is to Elliott. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs. In the top 5 in the NFL, it's all a mindset. And I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick him up at a very good clip.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This is Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6.
When we draw defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Now for the point after. This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Ready?
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sean Lee coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'm filing away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
Ready?
From the gun, it's Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now Austin. 1 minute 53 ticks left to go in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A very solid gain of 27. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. And it's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll run with Elliott. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
Now Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they get set to play host to the Chicago Bears. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being in Tennessee, where it'll be the Titans at home in Nashville, taking on the New York Jets. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, a renewal of what was one of the NFL's best rivalries a few years back. The 49ers heading to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Breeze now to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. A gain of 6 there on first. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Hey, ready, uniting.
On first down, Breeze completes this one to Meredith. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Breeze now. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him.
Here's Camara trying to run for it. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Elliott. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, Prescott stripped, but I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Smith trying to run for it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
from the shotgun. It's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
3 down. Hey, check ready.
They run it again with Kamara. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Ready. Yellow lady. Touch.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Now Breeze got to have this one. And Gibbs got it. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Breeze now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady. Yellow lady.
Here's Breeze. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and it'll bring up third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Ready, united.
Breeze to throw again. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And it is incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
There we go. Wide eight.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll bring up second down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Tight end right. One's tight. Tight end's right. There we go. Wide eight.
On play action, Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
He gets his first catch there, but all in all, when you're talking about the #1 receiver in the NFL coming into this game, and we're just talking about the first catch there, I think they're doing a nice job of bottling him up. Prescott
now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
There we go. Wide eight.
And again, it's Prescott. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Prescott now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. And Hill with it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Prescott now on 2nd down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Well, that'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, You don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Have confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, there's 2 sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything, and when you're on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this, and in this case, they were actually able to win it.
Now Breeze. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Breeze will try again on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. From the gun, it's Breeze. Taco Charlton able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. On the sneak, it's Prescott. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
He likes that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
Delayed game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. The point after is good, and that will bump the lead up to 26. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The dangerous Hill now to return. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against?
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Breeze now on first down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, here's Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Breeze now to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Taco Charlton in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. As simply as...
Fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole...
They've tried, but nothing is... That's why they're down so big.
With Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge. But this time they get him behind the line. And now it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came.
They didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cowboys, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.